Hey guys, welcome back, and we are starting a new series called the Fish Podcast. Wait, why didn't that work? Hold on, my editor's messed up. Okay, let me retry this. Fish Podcast. Okay, that worked. And in the Fish Podcast, we are gonna post once a week, preferably on Saturdays, but we'll do it every once in a while on Mondays and maybe on Thursdays, but mostly on Saturdays. And we are gonna talk about comets and talk about how to care for fish. And this episode, we are going to be talking about my 30-gallon tank. I will show you the stockings, and it's just right over there. It's in the back corner, so let's go get to it. Okay, so this is my 30-gallon tank. I have two common plecos and one green sunfish. Yes, this is a small tank for them, so in the future I will be upgrading to a 70-gallon, which is big enough for both of those fish. I've read, but if I'm wrong, you can comment down below. But I've read that you can keep them together. This is the filter I have. Amazing filter. It's only $20. I made this tank look pretty natural. I think I got rocks from creeks, and I got two live plants and some moss in here, which I guess moss is also a live plant. I also have some pond snails, but I can't really get a good view on some. But here's one up here. I love pond snails. I know a lot of people think they're pests, but I just like having them around. Yes, they do overpopulate the tank, but I just do a lot of frequent water changes. So this will be upgraded to a 70-gallon in the future. But I I tried keeping it pretty natural with not planting plants like a giant forest. Like I'm gonna do in this guppy breeder 10-gallon tank. I have zero fish in there now. It's still cycling. I'm waiting for the filter to arrive, so I need for that to arrive before I start cycling it fully. But I have an air pump in here. This is the tank that I had my catfish in. You might be wondering what happened to them. There was a disease that hit the fish tank. It killed three of my catfish. My beta survived. My beta's in another 10-gallon tank, but it kind of messed up his fins a little bit. But he's swimming fine. He's made amazing recovery, and the other two catfish also have. So it's just gonna be a guppy breeder tank now. I completely um cleaned out the substrate like crazy. We even boiled it. That's why I need to cycle it again because the disease was really bad. Killed them in like a day. So I had to completely clean that tank out. We scrubbed it really good. I know you're not supposed to use soap, but that's only if you're doing like water changes. If you're cleaning out a tank and put water in it, let it cycle, do water changes on it after you completely scrub it out, rinse it out like 19 times after adding soap. It is fine to do that when you're setting up a new tank, but you do not do that on frequent water changes and only do like 25% every week. But we are focusing on this 30-gallon. Before I had any of the fish in there, I still had my green sunfish, of course, because Tiny, the one that always used to hide. I think he's hiding back there right now. But but I've had him a while before. But someone commented you should put a turtle in here. That's actually a good idea. So in another episode, I'm going to talk about good turtles to put in a 30-gallon fish tank. There's not too many different options, but um, there is some. I might do a YouTube short for that though. I've never had a turtle, but they've always fascinated me. How like they stay in water. I also didn't want to build like a thing that goes up here that the turtle can climb into. You can either make it cheap and super quick, and the turtle just tear it apart, or expensive, and it takes a long time. And I just don't have the money for that right now, so I just kept my green sunfish and the two common placa that I got like a couple weeks ago. They're actually eating really good. I feed them these algae pellets. They absolutely go crazy for these. Um, but you do have to make sure if they don't eat one because since these are just baby placos, they haven't really explored over here at all. So one time I dropped one and they just didn't eat it. I don't know why they didn't. They just eat over there, so I had to pick it up with a net, and I just kind of threw it away because it will kind of mess up the tank and mess up the cycling. Um, I can't really get a good view on my fish. I think my green sunfish is back there. They just like hiding in here. But I am upgrading this to a 70-gallon in the future, so stay tuned for that. If you are wondering what I'm doing with the 30-gallon tank, I have this Tetra tank. It's a overstocked. I have a beta, 5 glow Tetras, and 3 Black Phantom Tetras. That's what's going in the 30-gallon tank, so it's not at all overstocked. I had more Black Phantom Tetras, but I had some die. And I had them in this tank, but my beta was bullying them that was in here. And I'm glad they weren't in there when the disease hit, because these guys are hard to keep alive. So they are gonna go over in this tank. I might actually make it kind of black water. If you want to see my if you want to see these fish glow, hold on, let me turn on the light. And 3, 2, 1. And these are my fish. We just installed this black light earlier today, which is kind of ironic when I'm starting to film this video. But they are a little skittish because they've never had a light on their tank. We just bought this $6 black light, and we had this lid. That's what this light back here went to. We just kind of put it back there, and we just kind of set it on top of the glass of this. It works really well. It illuminates the fish, and it's not too bright, so they don't like it doesn't bother them, but they do glow pretty good. If you want to see a more concentrated one, you can make your phone a black light. I think with a mode you can do for that, which you can just like shine them on them every once in a while. I bet they'll hate it because they're not really used to that if you do that. But yeah. Now it's time for the beta that was in the 10-gallon tank that got the disease. So, he is in this 10-gallon tank with 2 African dwarf frogs. So let me show you to them. This is my beautiful beta. He is loving this tank. I don't know why he's a crazy beta. You could see one of the African dwarf frogs. He doesn't bully him at all, but his fins are doing a lot better after they kind of were torn apart. So because the disease kind of ate at them. This is the smaller African dwarf frog. He doesn't bully them. He actually kind of like just swims around them. The African dwarf frogs are a little skittish, so I have this hide in there for them. I also have some of the this carpeting plant that just kind of grew up around this. Grew up. It's kind of like pushed back there, but just kind of grew up on this. I'm hoping it'll kind of cover the top in the future. I doubt it will, but this is the beta. Now let's go on to the 2 Cory catfish that survived. I know you shouldn't put Cory catfish in a 5-gallon tank, but I had to because I didn't really have a better place to put them. I didn't want to put them with the frogs because they're both bottom dwellers and they might get in a little fight. And I didn't really want to put them anywhere else with the green sunfish placos or anything. So I decided to put them in the 5-gallon tank with a honey gourami. So let me show you to them. It doesn't have a filter. I need one to arrive. I had more live plants in here, but some of them died off. It was just a plant tank, but a lot of them died. So I need to get a filter, which I'm having. I just need a new sponge for a filter I have because the filter got the filter sponge kind of just broke over time. It was like a year, which is about the lifespan, but I wasn't really prepared, so I'm waiting for that to come for the 5-gallon tank. It had a few carpeting plants. It had more carpeting plants, but my Cory catfish just ripped them apart. My Cory catfish hate plants, so let me show you to them. This is my honey gourami. He's the laziest gourami I've ever had. Also the only gourami I've ever had, but laziest fish I've ever had. Here are one of my Cory catfish. Since it is daytime, they just kind of sit around, but at night they start going crazy. I feed them 1 catfish pellet a day. I used to feed them 2 for all 5 of them. Like twice a day, but I used to overfeed my fish some. I've grown as a fish keeper a lot, even though this tank is probably the worst stocking wise and no filter. I just need those sponges to arrive, and I will be able to get a filter for this tank. It'll be a smaller filter for this 5-gallon tank, but it's the perfect size for it. Welcome to the end of the video. My beta wants to say goodbye. Subscribe to The Chinchilla if you enjoyed this series. Comment my name. My name is Starburst. And I want to say this for The Chinchilla. The Chinchilla out.